everyone. Sorry I've not done any videos for a while. I've been a bit busy. You see Safi's coming over. Video's on, Safi's here. Come on then, if you're coming up. Come and say hello. Come on in. As you can see, I've changed around everywhere. I needed a better study space. Needed a bit more light because I was in the corner behind me. But now I'm here in front of the window, but I think it might be a bit bright on my face, I don't know. I do apologise if it is. My screen, on my face on my screen looks all bright on one side, but hopefully it'll come through okay. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of studying, maybe not as much as I should be, but just been trying to get my life sorted together. Getting back into a routine, which I've not had for a long time. Hey puss. So yeah, have a tail people. So yeah, I've just been trying to get back into a routine. It's been a little bit hard, considering doing absolutely nothing and being terrified in my own home because of my mental illness, to going out to college, mixing with people again, lots of people, which yeah, I'm enjoying it actually. Cat gets his hair up. Very much so. Sorry. Oops. So yeah, so I'd like to say it's been like just over a year now that I've been on my self-discovery journey, I suppose. People call it a spiritual journey, but it's a journey of self-discovery. Looking deep inside to see who I really am. And yeah, obviously it was Halloween yesterday, and it was just before Halloween last year that I started going to see my friend Heather, and she gave me my first tarot deck, and it's been over that course of just over a year that my life has completely changed, because I've been following what the universe has been telling me to do, and it's all worked out absolutely amazing. Just my whole sense of who I am, my whole sense of purpose, my whole sense of my life, you know, where it's going, my whole mental health. And that's when I can't believe it's such a drastic change from what I was to who I am now in such a short space of time, really. You know, I've been trying to heal for a long time. It's got about 12 years now, because we're nearly at the end of this year. So yeah, about 12 years since I had my first diagnosis of emotional or personality disorder, depression and PTSD and things like that. But yeah, these last couple of weeks I've actually been sitting back and seeing how far I've come, and recognising all these mental, I don't know, the mental imbalances, you know, that I've had for such a long time, recognising how they've changed. I mean, my PTSD, normally, you know, if I hear people outside shouting, or, you know, I hear a kid screaming, or a woman screaming, or, you know, anything like that, I instantly, I used to instantly get panic on, thinking, oh my God, something's happening, something bad's happening. But it happened this morning as well. I heard some woman shouting and screaming, and instead of me going into a panic, it was like, oh, okay, there's a woman screaming, carry on. And get myself ready for going to college today. And I didn't have that build-up of panic. The pounding heart, that sick feeling in your stomach, and all the spiraling thoughts of going, oh my God, what's happening, do I need to call the police, panic. No, it was just somebody's having a bad morning, putting it into perspective. It was quite surreal, really. But all sorts of things like that, even to the point of not panicking before I go anywhere, and it not affecting me for days after. And I went down to see my friend Heather this weekend. We had a catch up. I've not seen her for a while. It's been a few months, well, actually since before Creamfield, so that'd be August time. So yeah, it's been a few months. And obviously she's healing as well. She's doing really well, with all the same sort of time frame as me, for the big sort of epiphanies about healing and your inner child and why you do things. And she's noticed a big difference as well over this past year, and I've been helping her, and she's moving forward at last, which she's been stuck for such a long time. Which is sad, really, because she's had my mum there for a long time. But my mum's not one of those people that helps. My mum's one of those people that takes. She expected Heather to do everything, to provide everything for her, and she'd just turn up and whenever she wanted, uninvited, and expect to be waited on hand and foot, and then bugger off and leave Heather with nothing. So it's nice that I can actually go there and help. Oh, wait, my alarm's going off. It says I should leave for college. But I don't start till 9:30, so I've got 45 minutes yet. And it literally, I take the bus, but it's only like a 5-minute journey down the road. If I walked it would take me 10 minutes, but it's raining this morning and I've got a bus pass. My student bus pass. I love it. I got to wear this. I go to college. I can't get in without it. It's like got a security door on a lot of the college, so you just swipe this and I'm in. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's just such a complete difference to what I used to be. Even last year, but even the start of this year, up to a certain point, especially after my dad died, that was my major awakening. I thought I'd take it really bad, and I didn't. I understood that, he hasn't actually died. His body might have, but we're all energy. And I'm learning this in science as well. You can't destroy energy. You can change its form, but you can never destroy it. So, we're made of energy. Protons, neutrons, electrons, it's all energy. So, you cannot kill it. You cannot destroy it. It just changes form. It changes into something else. And I know that we're all connected to this universe. And especially with the spiritual teachings, being reborn into something else, or, you go on, if you've learnt all your lessons, to something bigger and better, And I do feel like I've got purpose, which is to tell my story and to help others. And this is why I am going to college, getting all my qualifications so I can go into psychology. I've learnt a lot in my own journey of self-discovery. It's not been easy, obviously, because there is a hell of a lot that you need to accept and be truthful about. Oh God, you've got to be so honest with every single thing that's happened in your life, with every single thing that you do. You can't sort of like say, oh well, yeah, I've got this problem, but no, I've not got a horrible family. No, they never did that to me. It's all in my own head. I made it up. But no, it's not. It happened. Because I used to think that all the time. Well, maybe I dreamt it, you know. But, you know, a kid having those sorts of dreams at that age, it shouldn't happen. No, I didn't dream it. It was reality. It happened. It was just people around me telling me, no, it didn't happen, you know, because they were trying to protect themselves. So it is that you have to be so honest with who you are and who the people are around you to be able to make a healthy decision and take healthy actions to make your own life better. You do have to take it into your own hands, because there are people out there that say that they love you and that they care for you, but actually no, it's the complete opposite. You know, they're trying to keep you stuck, trying to keep you manipulated in their own little world, which isn't nice at all, and that's most of my family. You know, but you know, I'm away from them. I don't speak to them anymore. And at the start of my healing for my mental health, you know, I didn't know if it was the right thing to do, if I was doing the right thing, if it was them or if it was me or what. But you know, the results are there to show who I am now to who I was back then. You know, it's everything that I've learned about myself, about mental illness, about abuse, physical and mental abuse. It's all been true. Nobody can tell me any different, because I've lived it and I've healed. This is the most stable I've ever been in my life. And you can't tell me that, you know, it wasn't them that was causing all this. And when, you know, somebody else comes into my life that's toxic, I can recognise them, and I don't feel guilty for walking away. You know, I mean, obviously there's people that I love to bits that I've had to walk away from, you know, my family, very much so, and even friends, close friends. They might not be toxic, but they're stuck in a toxic cycle with other people, and even that affects me. You know, I can't be around people that are trapped in their own heads, because it's frustrating. You're trying to sort of like open their eyes, and you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, you know. And then you get called toxic yourself, because you know you're trying to help people, but obviously they have to realise their own lives in their own time. And I know a lot of people aren't prepared to look that deep. You know, they don't want to believe that their families are toxic, that their partners are toxic, or their friends are toxic. And it's the people around them that's causing their own mental illness, you know. It's, you know, the past that's causing mental illness. It's sad to watch, and it's frustrating not to be able to help, especially when you're an empath and you want to help people as much as possible. But people will make up their own mind eventually. Some people do, some people don't. It depends on the person, you know. It's like me, I got to a stage in my life where I was like, why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? Why do I get affected by certain things? And you have to do the research. You have to look deep, and you have to be honest. And believe me, when you do, and you start making the necessary changes, and I know it's difficult to start with, but once you're on that road and that ball's rolling, it becomes easier and easier and easier and easier, and everything just slots into place. So all the confusion goes, all the spiralling thoughts go, you know, your mind just, it's free to think like it should. I mean, the brain shouldn't be constantly thinking 24/7, because you do shut down, and your life shuts down because you're too focused on your thoughts. And it's usually thoughts that have been placed there to confuse you and keep you in a state of confusion. But once you get out of that state of confusion, it's so much easier to put things in perspective, how they should be. Well, it was for me anyway, and it seems to be the same for, you know, a few of my friends that I'm helping, especially over this last year, especially with Heather, you know, talking to her and sort of like pointing out certain things, why she did things, trying to form the connections between certain things and how she reacts. And once she's realised that, it's like, oh yeah, okay, this is from when I was a kid. This is how I was taught to think, and how I was taught to think was unhealthy. It was destructive, and it is. It's brain altering, very much so. And you do have to unlearn all these things that people have put in your head as you've been growing up. It's all these opinions and ideas and things like that that just aren't how you should be thinking about yourself, because they're not true. It's just how they've made you think. You know, if, say you've got an alcoholic dad, you know, and every time you walked in the house he kicked off at you, you're a waste of space, you're this, you're that, you know, it's all negative stuff. So then, you know, you're brainwashed into thinking that, right, yeah, this is me. I don't deserve doing this because I'm a waste of space, I'm useless. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. And you get stuck in that head. But it's just somebody else's opinion that they've forced on you, and you've learnt as truth, and it's not. And it's distinguishing the truth of who you are as a person deep down inside, and what the lies are. You know, you have to look at the facts. Who am I as a person? You know, who am I deep down? What are my values? What are my skills? You know, somebody might say you've got no skills whatsoever. Oh, well, I make a great cup of tea, or, you know, I can tidy a house nicely, you know, I can organise things, I'm good at writing stories, or, you know, it's everything that is you that you can do. Write it down and have it there in front of you going, right, okay, well, I'm kind, I'm honest, I'm loving, I'm giving, you know, I'm compassionate. They're all good qualities, even though you've been brought up to think that you're not good, or your own qualities aren't good. And it's those deep down qualities, your morals, and how you perceive other people, you know, because I used to love everybody, you know, I used to think everybody was the same and kind, and that even before I knew what was kind and what wasn't. But now I step back, I take my time. So, you know, yeah, somebody comes into my life, I won't go jumping in thinking that they're the most beautiful person. I mean, yeah, I come from a place of love, but prove it to me first. Let me see what your values are, what your core values are. But not from what your mouth says, it's from your actions. You know, you can tell me, oh yeah, I'm this beautiful, beautiful person, you know, I'm loving and kind and this and that and this and that. But it's the actions that speak louder than the words. And that's how I make my decisions about people now. And I'm not afraid to cut people off anymore. I did it the other day, actually. I put on a meme on Facebook, and it was like a little message that somebody wrote themselves, and it was a sober person writing a message for a drunk person, for their drunk selves, basically. And it was like, oh, yeah, drunk Steve, drink some water before you go to bed, you'll feel better in the morning, you won't have your hangover and all that. You know, a nice little positive message for himself when he got back from going wherever he was. And then, you know, underneath it's got a message from drunk Steve, which is completely different. You know, don't you dare tell me what to do, F off and all this, you know. I'll do what I want. And yeah, that was the sort of thing that I was when I was drunk. I'd completely changed. It was horrible. And I sort of like posted this with a little cat thing underneath. Oh, My only little comment was, this is why I don't let drunk Kaz out. And then there was somebody that I've known for a long time, since I lived in Torquay. And I suppose I've known him for about 20 years now, on and off. But, you know, through the internet, Facebook, not Facebook, Yahoo chat rooms. He lived down my way, in Devon. I think we met up once. He knows my family as well, he knows my auntie Elaine. And he put that, I like drunk Kaz, she's fun. Now, when I look back on that, how I was back then, I was falling apart. I really was in a big mess. I was basically an alcoholic, doing stuff that I wouldn't do sober. And I did actually rip into him with a big long message that, I mean, I've told him before as well, because he's mentioned that before, you know, he liked the old me. And I sort of ripped into him the other day, saying the only reason that you like the old me is because the old me was off her head and you could manipulate her, and she did things that, you know, that she wouldn't do sober, that she wouldn't do in her right mind. She was a very messed up, suicidal, self-destructive woman, and you like that? I says, Kaz has always been fun, you know, just because she's drunk and flash her boobs at you, you know, that's what he liked. It wasn't the fact that he liked me, he liked what I could do for him under that influence of alcohol. I had no morals, I had no self-control, I didn't care. But yeah, sober me would never have done that. Sober me, mortified. Drunk me, she's ended up in cells because she's tried to commit suicide. You know, when I should have been locked up in a mental hospital, you know. No, I was locked up in a police cell for a night until I sobered up and then sent back home. Things like that, you know. They thought I was just drunk, but no, I was mentally unstable and needed help, you know, and it was a big cry for help. But some people didn't see that, they just took advantage. And I didn't see that either, you know. But I wouldn't when I was in a self-destructive mode. I was looking for compassion and love, and I was still getting used and abused by people calling themselves my friends. So yeah, so I ripped into this lad, made sure there was enough time up for him to see my message, and then I've just deleted him off my friends. He's not the sort of friend that I need. You know, when I talk about stuff like that, you know, what I used to be like and what I am now, genuine friends will be like, oh, well done, Kaz, you know, this isn't you anymore, I'm so proud, you've come so far. And then I've got a bloke going, well, no, you was more fun back then because you'd flash me your tits, or, you know, you'd do all sorts and you didn't care. That's not the sort of people I need in my life, you know. I don't feel guilty for it either, you know. I mean, I've told him before, you know, that's not me anymore, that's not the sort of person I am. Because he's commented on certain things before, on Facebook. And it's like, no, the other day it was like, right, this is it, I've got to fucking tell him. And I couldn't keep my gob shut, but I had to. You have to be straight with people, or else they think that they can take the piss, you know? They think that they can get whatever they want from you know, just by pissing around with your emotions, making you feel like shit. And it doesn't work for me anymore. It really doesn't work for me anymore. But yeah, I've noticed so much how much I've changed over this last year, very much so. And I am very glad, very glad. Very much appreciated to the universe for giving me the information that I needed. because when you do read the cards and you ask them questions, I mean, I don't go into detail. I just ask the universe, what would you like me to know right now? What do I need to be aware of right now? You know, I don't go and... I feel cheeky, actually, you know, especially if it's going into other people's lives. You know, I don't ask about other people's lives. I just ask about my own. Unless I'm doing a reading for them, then, you know, obviously I've got to ask about their lives. But when it comes to myself, I focus on myself. I'm not bothered about what anybody else is doing. So I'm not one of these readers that will purposely, you know, try and find information out through the cards about somebody else. I'll do it for myself and my self-growth. And I have, and I've followed everything. And it really has shocked me, just the 180 flip that I've done with my mental health, with my life, getting everything back on track. But anyway, it's 4 minutes past 9 and I need to get to college. So thank you everybody, and bye-bye. Love you lots, and I shall start making more videos because I need to sort of like talk about this a lot more in depth, exactly what I've done to get my life back on track. I think this is very important for people to know. So yeah, I need to shut up and get to college. So I'll see you later. Bye bye everyone.